Hi guys, it's Dave here from Metal Roos. I've got Ben Weinman from Dillinger Escape Plan. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm in New Jersey in my little home studio right now.
Yeah, just seen some monitors there.
Yeah, you can see some setup.
Nice. All right, so you got some big things coming up for this year. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah. So has it been 8 years since you've kind of done stuff?
Yeah, I guess the very end of 2017,
Yeah.
like around New Year's was the last Dillinger shows. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Well, you excited for the rebirth? What does it kind of involve? What are we kind of set to expect?
Well, we hadn't had any thoughts of doing any kind of shows since the last shows. And then we had gotten an offer to do a special, like a festival, doing our first album with our original singer.
Yeah,
And just wasn't really the right time. We could never be ready in time. And it was like, yeah, we never really thought about it. Uh, but yeah, that was cool thought. And
yeah,
then I was talking to our booking agent. I was just letting him know. I was like, yeah, I got, my buddy reached out to me about headlining their festival, doing this thing. That's pretty funny. And then he's like, well, next year is the 25th anniversary of that album. So, like, if you were going to do something, that would definitely be cool. I was like,
yeah,
could be cool, and definitely wanted to do some stuff with our old singer. He's still one of my best friends. And he
yeah,
never really got to really see the band and its full success and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just ended up making sense.
yeah. Wow, that's so good to hear. And you're coming to Australia in August.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to see it. You've obviously been to Australia a fair few times.
Yeah.
I seen you on your last thing with Suicidals.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So amazing show. Fan of you playing too. So dog
Thank you.
bloke.
Suicidal coming back as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
When are we looking for that?
we'll be on those Metallica shows in Australia, so it'll be
Right. Yeah.
in November.
Just small little Metallica shows.
Just yeah, just a little band called Metallica. Maybe you heard them.
Yeah,
No big deal.
little club shows. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So what can we kind of expect? Any new music or like with Dillinger or
So so we're doing these shows with our original singer, who wasn't
yep,
on the majority of our catalog. He did our first two EPs and our first full length. So we're really just doing the entire first album, and we're doing the first album in Calculating Infinity in its entirety, and
yep,
then the EP before that in its entirety, and then cuts from the first EP, plus maybe a cover. And so like it's really just kind of old stuff, and but it still feels fresh. It definitely still feels fresh.
would do, especially with kind of doing that resurgence with the original singer. It would
Yeah.
and obviously the years of touring for you guys would have been that a lot more of your later stuff. So to go back to that original stuff would feel like a new thing again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And how's the dynamic been with getting him back on board for rehearsals and stuff like that?
It truly, we didn't break up because we were like fighting or the band,
Yeah,
but it was like we definitely were tired, and we definitely felt like we saw it through. And then we left and didn't hang out too much or talk too much. And then um when we started up again, Dimitri and I continued to always be friends and talk and hang out and stuff. And then when we started getting together to rehearse, it was like just so positive and fun. And I think when you're doing something after many years that you don't feel like you have to do it, and you've just grown and matured and like moved on in life, and we've had kids, and we've had all kinds of things happen,
Yeah,
that just really shape you, which a lot of band guys don't get to do for a very long time because they're just stuck in this cycle of a
absolutely.
teenager, forever. So I think just still feeling hungry and fresh and excited by this music, but having a little more maturity to just really appreciate each other and appreciate the opportunities has made it super fun and enjoyable. Like really, really cool, really fun. We're just having a great time.
Yeah, that's good, and that's what we do it for. That's why we are a musician as well, but that's why we kind of keep doing it, isn't it? You keep pushing because
Yeah.
you get those times and you're like, okay, this is why I do this.
Right.
Yeah. Um, so heading over to your career a little bit as well. Obviously, we're only a short interview, so we can only touch little bits. But you've done collaborations with Kimbra as well as Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, and then obviously Suicidals as well.
Yeah.
And then you've guitar wise, you've been rated in the top 100 guitarists ever, or top 50.
I don't know. That's according to who? I don't know. It's subjective, I guess, but I
Yeah,
do feel like it's definitely cool to be recognized for sure.
yeah, totally. Um, yeah, well, some of the obviously the guitarists that have been around forever, and you got obviously Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen and all these kind of guys to be put in their categories. Just a nice thing to be acknowledged for. I would say.
Yeah, I could have never thought I would ever be acknowledged like that, nor ever play in Suicidal Tendencies, one of my favorite bands when I was a kid, or
Yeah,
have my band go as far as it did,
yeah,
or open for Metallica. Like those things. Yeah, I definitely have to pinch myself a little bit sometimes, but you do have to try hard not to get jaded, and because it just becomes part of what you do.
yeah,
And you have to remember, I often have to try and like remind myself how rad it is. Like I
yeah,
have to be like, if I were 16 and I told myself this stuff, I would be like, fuck you, no way.
yeah,
Like, so it is definitely important to have that perspective.
yeah, yeah. Um, so heading over to a little bit of guitar gear. Sorry. um, you've got a signature ESP model as well.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice thing to kind of get. And how, how did that kind of come about? And what kind of how does it kind of cater to your style?
Yeah, sure. So I really, throughout the years, it was very hard for me to find the perfect guitar because, um, the dynamic and the different styles of playing that happen within even just one song of a Dillinger thing is just so diverse, and there's so much going on, and there's so many different kinds of tones and things that I like to do within the songs in order to create depth and create clarity when things are so fast and crazy. And then also live, it's like having a super super heavy guitar just doesn't work because I'm jumping around all over the place
Yep.
and doing all this stuff. And just keeping something that is functional. Like, I would always be playing and my hand kept turning the volume off all the time because I'm just playing. I pick hard and I'm like, so eventually I just, after talking with ESP for a while, we decided we just needed to make the guitar that was right for me. And people really loved it and were really into it.
Yeah.
And it was, what I found was cool is that people who knew nothing about me or my bands really gave it like very high reviews. So I know that, and that was my goal, to create something that was just really functional and great for any guitar player. So, um, it was one of the first guitars, certainly signature guitar, to have an Evertune bridge in it,
Yeah.
which is an amazing technology, which has
Uh,
changed the game
it's
for me,
yep.
and
I tour
especially for recording.
yeah, yeah. I tour with a Evertune now, and
Yeah,
I
you don't need a tuner on
yeah,
stage.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's crazy. I broke a string just warming up on
yeah.
one of my gigs on my last tour, and was just like
Well,
hit. And my spare guitar doesn't have the Evertune, but just quickly whacked a string on, straight out on stage, stayed in tune.
Yep.
It's just it's
You don't even need to do it, or you're just like, buh, 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 buh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so stuff like that. It's semi-hollow, so that creates an interesting body to it, and also makes it a little lighter. But then it's got a long scale neck. It's neck through. It's got the volume and everything in a certain place, so it's not in the way. So yeah, it was just kind of about creating a really functional guitar.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing guitar. Yeah, I'd be
Thank you.
proud. And then over to amps, you use Mesa Boogie Mark V.
Yeah, so I in the studio I use a whole bunch of different amps,
Yeah.
anywhere from the Mesa Mark Fives to Bogner's to old 5150,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And now I've been using the Quad
Yeah.
Cortex
That was my next question. Yeah. Look,
Yeah,
I think everyone's gone to the Quad Cortex.
I mean it's the first one that I've been willing to do. The first amp sim
Yeah.
thing that I've actually been willing to do because yeah, it's just gotten really good.
It's so good. I've been using the Tonex, but I want to upgrade the Quad Cortex, and only reason is cost. The Tonex are cheaper, but it's still stable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So touring schedule, you've got obviously later on in the year the Dillinger stuff, and then is it quite busy with mixing that and Suicidals as well?
Yeah, it's going to get pretty busy because we're doing the various Dillinger festivals in the Australia run, and then Suicidal's doing a Metallica tour.
Yeah.
And we will be with Metallica in Australia as well.
Yeah.
In November. So
you got
this year's gonna be real busy for sure.
Yeah, and then so that Metallica tour, is that America as well?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So what are the rough amount of dates?
It's interesting because a band like that plays weekends and then off weekend,
Yeah.
So it's they're kind of spread out, it'll be a weekend, a couple of days off, a weekend, a couple of days off. But I mean, we'll be in Australia for 3 weeks straight with Metallica. So we're going to be doing Metallica shows, and also some in between Suicidal headline shows as well.
Oh, good. Yeah. I'll definitely be at them. I didn't get tickets to the Metallica shows, but
yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, you'll have your next one coming up very soon, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm late. I'm definitely late for the next one, but that's okay. I was late for yours.
Yeah. All good. All right. I thank you heaps for your time, and look forward to seeing, as I say, I'll see you in the side shows anyway, and then I'll see you at Dillinger shows later in the year.
Thanks, Dave.
Great to meet you. All right.
Bye.
Thanks heaps, buddy. Bye-bye.